So today we're going to work on Partridge Pose. What does that mean? Partridge Pose is like an arm balance and a back bend at the same time, which is kind of contradictory to itself, but it is a thing. And it's side plank with a hamstring grab basically, but we'll totally break it down. A yoga strap today might be really useful. Actually, we're all going to grab one. So please have a strap if you can, and at least one block. And when you're ready, we're going to start lying on our backs in bound angle pose, where you bring the soles of your feet together and you can take your knees out wide. Please take one block next to you as you lay down, actually. Have it within grabbing distance. We've made it to our Aloha Friday. Officially spring. We've been talking a little bit this month about having positive thoughts, about being kind to our mind. And a little philosophical paradox that I was thinking about this morning is that saying, give me a second. Lengthen your spine. You can use your blocks to support under your thighs if you don't already have them there. Breathe slowly in and out of your nose, filling up with breath. Finally came back to me. The saying that nothing matters and everything counts. You can reverse that and say, if everything counts, then nothing matters. But really, it's the value we put into all the moments. And in yoga philosophy, we're always working on coming back to the present, being present. When we're with our breath, we're being more present. When we're in our poses and our asana, we're being present. See if you can find a little more value to the present moment in your class today. Just try to set your mind softly in the backdrop and be present with your breath. Starting to build a little bit of heat if you haven't already, sealing your lips, breathing in and out of your nose. Stoking that ujjayi fire breath, the rhythm and sound and flow of the ocean. So much energy is placed in the ocean, so much energy is in this breath. Take about one more slow breath in through your nose. Exhaling through the nose. You can slowly reach down and grab the outer thighs, hug them in and to your chest. Keep a flat back, squeeze the knees in. Then maybe you rock a little bit across left to right. We're gonna start with some bridge moves. So plant your feet hips width distance apart. And we'll begin by putting our forearms in the ground, and then we have little robot arms where our fingertips are facing up the ceiling. Walk your shoulders down your back. Press into the four corners of your feet and lift your hips up. So you can squeeze your shoulder blades underneath you towards one another. Squeeze your seat up. Looking at the ceiling, our eyes are closed. Trying to lengthen your tailbone towards. Think about one more breath. Fill up a little bit more, lift the space of your heart. And then exhale, lower all the way back down. If you're just joining us, we're using a strap today and a block. So from your back, we'll take our block now and squeeze it in between your inner thighs. We're gonna work on inner thigh squeezing, adduction of the muscles today, squeezing and hugging. With those little robot arms, if it feels better for you, your palms can be on the ground. Press into your feet, press into your tricep muscles, lift your hips up and squeeze onto your block. Feel how the inner thighs have to react here, squeeze together. Notice how your glutes start to engage, work maybe even harder here as we squeeze the block. A lot of our yoga poses, we want to hug our inner thigh muscle. Drive into your feet, maybe lift your hips, float them towards the back of your knees. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, slowly lower your hips down. You can remove your block now, and we'll do that one more time. Option if you want to keep the block. I want you to mimic that squeezing of the inner thighs if you aren't using the block. And on an inhale, lift your hips up one last time. Final bridge pose for right here, right now. Fire up those inner thighs and glutes. Lift your seat higher. Hug the inner thighs, though you're keeping your knees in line with your hips. If your fingertips are up, press into your triceps. Can you open your heart another ½ inch? And gently release it down. If you had the block, put it to the side. You can softly hug your knees to your chest, this time being a little bit still, just keeping our back flat. We're going to take our hands to our knees and your knees towards the sky, and your feet can just kind of hang, or you can keep them at reverse tabletop. We're going to press our thighs forward and pull our thighs back. This is really good on the low back. I want you to keep your low back flat, belly to the sky. And we're not working our core here. Oftentimes I'm telling you to squeeze and use your thighs. We are just guiding our knees gently forward and pulling them back with our hands. So if you ever have a tweaked low back, sometimes this can be really nice. And on a personal note, a couple summers ago, I tweaked my back for the very first time doing shoveling and twisting, and there was something heavy in this dirt pile. And so I tweaked my back for the first time. And ever since then, it's really, really easy for me to just tweak it again. So I find myself doing this when I need a little extra TLC in my low back. All right, go ahead and hug your knees all the way into your chest. If you want to make circles with your knees on the sky and roll across your pelvis, please do. Switch directions. And when you're ready, you're going to rock and roll front and back a few times and come all the way to tabletop pose. We'll warm up our spine with some cats and cows. Spread those fingers nice and wide. Start with the neutral spine. Work the core already here. And then softly inhale, lift the seat, the crown. And exhale, round it. Maybe as you inhale and arch the back gently, you tuck your toes, press back through the soles of your feet. And as you exhale, you untuck your feet, press your shins down. Let that drive the rounding, the stretching of the shoulders. One more time through. Beautiful, beautiful. Go ahead and bring your knees together and sit on your heels for just a moment, please. If that doesn't feel good, you could do hero's pose sitting on a block in between the feet, okay? Take some archer arms. If you want a strap, you can take that strap in your right hand. Otherwise, we'll sweep the right arm up, bring your right palm to your right shoulder blade, and take your left hand to your low back. If you can reach fingertips and grasp, great. If not, you use that strap. If you're using a strap, walk your hands in as close as you can towards one another, and then wrap your arms inward and really think of stretching up your right tricep, elbow to sky. Sit tall in your spine so you're not popping your booty here, you're not tilting your pelvis. Try to have a nice tall spine. One more breath. And very slowly release that. We'll take the other side now. Left arm up, bend the elbow upwards so you can really start to stretch that tricep. Right hand to your low back. Walking your hands in as close as you can on the strap, or maybe your fingertips interlace. Bring the biceps in towards the body. And again, make sure you're not tilting or tucking your tailbone. You're sitting tall. Soften your eyes. You can keep them closed here if you'd like. Be present with your breath. Find value in this moment. And very softly begin to release that, let it go. Great. If you want to now, you can tuck your toes. We'll sit up on the heels. If that's not comfortable, you can be on your block. Hands are rested on your thighs. Just bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. Little neck stretch. Shoulders are soft. Gently bring your chin to your chest. So you're really stretching the back of the neck. Slowly inhale and bring your chin up towards the ceiling. And come back to neutral. We'll go to the other side now. Release your left ear towards your left shoulder. We're not hiking our shoulders. We're relaxed. We're soft. Bring your chin into your chest. Bring your chin up towards the sky. Come back to neutral. And come forward into all fours. Go ahead and untuck your toes, pitter patter out your feet, whatever you need to do to bring circulation back into the ankles. We'll make your way to downward facing dog from here. We'll have one block on its highest setting at the top of the mat. A strap is nearby. We won't need it for a while, but we will use it today. Go ahead and start to pedal out your legs. Nod your head, knowing yes. Really press your shoulder blades up towards the ceiling. If you can, find stillness here and root your heels towards the mat. Maybe even touching the mat, maybe not, that's fine. All right, go ahead and pick up your heels, bend your knees, send your chest towards your thighs. So you've got this turbo dog, I like to call it. Look forward between your hands, and then just step forward softly. Ragdoll pose at the top. So take your feet a little bit wider than your hips. You take any bind. Maybe spread your toes a little wider today and really let the weight hinge forward into the balls of your feet. Your heels will stay grounded. Let that weight jump forward a little more. And any binds you might have, really softly release your hands down to the earth. You walk your feet into touch or bring them under your hips. Inhale to a halfway lift. And as long as you can, make sure you're looking down instead of forward. We're stretching the back of the neck rather than crunching it. Big breath in. Exhale, fold in half. And go ahead and bend your knees and slowly round up to standing. Shoulder rolls a few times down the back. Chin is parallel with the earth. Bring your hands, palms shine forward. Option to close the eyes, about 3 cleansing breaths. Upright with gravity. Last big breath in. And cleanse it out. You softly blink your eyeballs open and inhale Tadasana, reach for the sky. Nice and tall here, belly plugged in. Bring your hands together overhead, option to look up at them. And slowly bring your hands to your heart and then release them by your side. So if you're near a wall space, that's great. You don't have to be. If you are near a wall space, take your left hand and fingertips just barely touch the wall, but you do not have to do this by a wall at all. So our fingertips just barely touch the wall, right? So standing where you are, bring your palms face forward by your side. We're in this neutral body position, Tadasana. And then we're gonna take the right toes, extend your leg back, extending out of that hip, and just touch your right big toe into the mat. So you've got leg extension here. Try to keep nice and tall and neutral the rest of the body. This is your leg extension back. Take your right hand now and just reach backwards. So now your arm is extending out of the shoulder joint. So you've got this extension. Your left side body is still neutral. Great. So from this point, take your left hand now out to the side. Now flex your wrists. This is abduction, and you're going to flex your wrists so your fingertips face the ceiling, and you're pressing through your heel of your hand, and your palm is in line with your shoulder. Now, if you can, elevate the toe off the ground. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and bend our knee. So You might just bend your knee a little bit if we're really tight in the hamstring and in the hip flexor. But if you can bend it all the way up and capture your foot, great. No worries if not. We're gonna leave that hand and kind of tuck it by the side if we're not reaching it. We don't need a strap, but you could always grab one if you wanted. Now from here, if you are close to that wall, you can bring your fingertips to the wall and then slowly just let yourself lean on the wall, grabbing your foot. This is your Partridge Pose. We're doing this today in class. This is a standing version, obviously. What it is in real life is Partridge is a side plank version. So if you press on that wall or not, either way, you're gonna feel the arm engage. You're gonna feel the leg hamstring engage. What this is though, kick your foot into your hand and start to arch the back just a little. So it's not a hamstring stretch for Partridge. It's more of the sugar cane opening. Think of a dancer's pose a little bit. Take just one more breath in and then very softly release it all the way back down. Shake it out if you need to give your left leg a little love. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So we're feeling it in our body now before we take it down to the mat, yeah? So from your neutral position, Tadasana, step your left toes back, extension through the hip. Bring your left arm back, extension out of the shoulder. Bring your right arm up, abduction, and flex at the wrist. Your fingertips face up. And I'm not mirroring you, I'm on the opposite side, yeah. Go ahead and bend your left leg, your knee. And if you can, capture your hand with your foot. Your foot with your hand. All right, this is it. Can you start to press that foot into your hand and feel some opening in the shoulder and the front of the chest, but arch into the back, lift up through your chest. Keep pressing into that right hand. If you're on a wall, you can lean on it and get a little bit more of that side plank feel. Take one more breath in, then very gently release your foot down. Shake out your legs, shake out your arms. Cool. Neutral position, please. Palms face forward, shoulders are stacked over hips and wrists. Inhale, mountain reach for the sky. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left foot steps back, low lunge. Bring your back knee down, Anjaneyasana. Keep your right knee over your right heel, please. Drive into the ball of your right foot. Your hands can be on blocks. You can let them hang to the thigh if you want, stack them, or you can reach up. Let that left hip flexor get a little more open. Melt your hips. Last breath in. High plank, breath out, palms down. Lift the left knee, step it back. Get long through your spine. Shift your shoulders forward to the wrist, bring your knees down, lower all the way to the earth and untuck your toes. We'll do Cobra a couple times. Palms are by your shoulders. You can have your feet hips width apart or wider. Inhale, lift up through the chest. We're not crunching the neck up, we're looking forward and down. Elevate your knees, lift up a little higher, squeeze the back, breathe in. And exhale, release. All right, now we're gonna take our forearms all the way down. Elbows are about in line with the ribs, all right? Palms are just on the mat. We'll do the same thing, but maybe lift up with the forearms. When you're ready, inhale, lift up. Keep the neck long. You can always have hands down if you want, otherwise squeeze the back. Another option here is to lift your toes, point them back. We've got leg extension. Squeeze up for one more breath in, and exhale, release. So one more time, take your palms backwards by your hips, fingers reaching towards the toes, pressing into the ground. Lotus pose on your inhale, lift up your chest, maybe elevate those arms, reaching back. You've got this arm extension out of the shoulders. And then option again, lift your toes, point back, lifting the thighs off the mat. Lift up, getting this little bit of arch to the back, last breath in. And exhale, release. Your forearms might be a pillow for your head. You might shimmy your hips or even windshield wiper your knees side to side. All right, friends, palms by your shoulders. Make your way to plank. Make your way to downward facing dog. Whew, so good. Inhale, soft knees look forward. You can pick up those heels. Exhale, walk or hop, fold at the top. Halfway lift, slide in, shoulders down the back. Exhale, folds. Standing mountain, reach for the sky with your breath. Palms together, option to look up. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right foot goes back, low lunge. You can bring your right knee down, Anjaneyasana, this side. Spread the left toes wide so you can really grip with your toes, knuckles. Hug your inner thighs like you were squeezing a block at the start of class. Last breath in. And exhale, high plank, palms down, right knee lifts, toes step back. So good. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower halfway down. And inhale, upward facing dog. Option to go through cobra if you want. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Nice. Shake it out. Breathe into your low back. And friends, we will move on. You might want one block at the top of your mat on its highest setting. We'll use that in a little while. Inhale your right leg up. Hug those inner thighs so you can really find ultimate length through the right toes. Big inhale and low lunge exhale. Feet should be hips width apart. Crescent lunge, slowly stand up. Shoulders out of the ears. Maybe you reach it up. Back heel high on the toes. Left hip pulling forward so your hips are square. Go ahead and find a steeple grip here. Interlace your fingers. Get a little taller with the breath in. Maybe bend that back knee just a little. Exhale, hinge to the right. So you're getting this left side body stretch through the ribs. Find your breath. Use the core, belly to spine. Nice. Inhale, come all the way back up through center. Release that grip, lean and fly. Bring your chest forward. Extend your arms back. Fingers reaching for the wall behind you. Check that your front knee isn't reaching far forward. It's over the heel. Lengthen your chest forward. Breathing in and breathing out. Beautiful. Your next move is chair plank. So your hands can stay back. Press into your right foot. Step your left foot forward, land into chair. If you need to, lift the chest a little bit and then sit back down. That's so we keep our chest lifted and that long spine. You can take a bind here if you want. You can grab a strap if needed. Interlace your fingers, roll your shoulders back. Remember, if you press your palms together, working a little more into the triceps. If your palms have slack, you're working into those forearms and wrists. You choose. Take one more breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Option to keep the bind or to ditch it. Find a halfway lift if you have the bind. Your bound fists are squeezing back past your tailbone. Last inhale. Exhale, low lunge, left foot steps back. Your bind will release here for that. Warrior two, slowly rise up. And slowly float your gaze past your front fingers, soften your eyes, maybe close them. Starting to feel the front inner thigh work. Take a breath. Extended side angle as you exhale, shimmy forward. You can use the thigh as a shelf, hand on a block or maybe to the floor. Float it, whatever you need to do. If you want to work on releasing your top shoulder to a half or a full bind, whatever you might need, that's always an option. We want to open the left shoulder like we're stacking it on top of the right. Open the left hip. Nice. If you have any binds, go ahead and gently start to release that. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Front palm comes up and over. Right ribs get that stretch now. Maybe your hips maneuver to the front a little bit. Keep your knee over your heel. Last breath in. Exhale, low lunge to the mat. Left palm is under your left shoulder. We've got a grounded twist. Reach your right arm up. So it's like we're stacking our shoulders. We're opening our chest by pushing into the bottom hand, reaching up through the top fingers. Hug your inner thighs. Last breath in. Exhale, high to low plank. Chaturanga, make it yours. Option knees down. Scoop the chest. Inhale your up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, same on the other side, yeah? Sweep your left leg up, squeeze those inner thighs. One more inhale. And low lunge, step through. Come into your crescent lunge. Pick up your back heel a little more, maybe bend the back knee, hug your inner thighs. Find your steeple grip. Try to take your non-dominant thumb on top this time. Relax your shoulders as you lengthen your arms. What? Yes, take a breath in. Exhale, hinge to the left. Right ribs are fanning open. If you need to, bend the back knee a little more for a little more stability. Nice inhale through center, so good. Let's lean and fly. We'll release that grip, extend your arms back, lengthen through your chest. Maybe re-straighten the back leg. Remember to pull your right hip forward to square them off. Start to think about your left foot now. We're stepping into chair plane. When you're ready, step forward, land your right heel. Maybe your big toes touch. Lengthen through your spine and take that seat a little deeper. Can you reach your palms up a little bit higher? And then go ahead and find your bind. Again, maybe non-dominant thumb on top this time. Focus on the length of your spine and your core wrapping in. Take one more breath in, sit a little deeper, and then fold in half, option to keep your bind. Inhale, halfway lift, still option for the bind. Exhale, right foot steps back, low lunge. Warrior two, slowly float it up. Plant your feet firmly into the mat. Start with the solid base and then build it up. Bring some awareness to your thighs. Can you fire them up, engage them? Think of actively lifting the knees by pressing down through your feet. One more inhale. Extended side angles, your exhale breath. If you worked on a half or full bind on the other side, you should try to balance it out on this side too. So good. Last breath in, last breath out, and release any binds. Reverse your warrior. Breathe in as you sweep up, floating open, fanning open the left ribs. Reach softly through the left fingertips as you create the spirally curve to the left arm. One more breath in, and exhale, low lunge. Right palm is under the right shoulder, grounded twist, left arm reaching up. If you can, keep your right knee up, but you can always bring it down. Squeeze the inner thighs. Press down in your right hand and open your chest to the left. Last inhale, open up. Exhale, high to low plank. Take it or leave it. If you're feeling a little sore, tired, or slow today, maybe you take a quick child's pose for 3 quick breaths. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Whew. Okay, now is when we definitely want to have our block on the tallest setting in front of our mat as an option. Adding on a few things. Inhale, your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge, steeple grip. Exhale, hinge to the right side. Inhale, crescent lunge. And exhale, lean and fly. Here's our first change. Option for airplane pose. Make sure you have room in front of you. Lift and float your left leg, standing on your right leg only. Your hands could be at your heart or on blocks even. Roll your shoulders down your back. I want your neck to feel long. Imagine squeezing a block in your inner thighs. That'll help square your thighs and engage your core. Last breath in. And exhale, chair plane. Bring both feet down, reach your arms back. If you can, interlace just your pinky fingers this time behind you, but you can grab a strap, you can keep the finger bind if that's what's working, go with it. Let's spread our toes wide. An option to lift your heels off the ground. Breathe, about 3 breaths. Last breath in. Exhale, slowly put your heels down. Take one more inhale. And exhale, fold. Softly release your bind. Now we're changing to one leg, halfway lift, float just the left leg. So we're lengthening our spine forward. You can put your hands on blocks if you want. Keep your spine tall, like halfway lift, but one leg, left leg is up. Flex your foot by kicking through your heel, toes face the mat. Hamstring curls, friends, we're still in the month of March. Go ahead and softly bend your knee to 90. Foot is parallel with the ceiling. And then re-extend, inhale. Exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. Try to level your hips. See if you can push through your right foot to get a little taller in the right leg. We'll bend for 3. Inhale, lengthen. Bend for 2, squeeze your left booty. Inhale, lengthen. Last time bend, hold it there, point your toe to the sky, pulse up. This is where we get a little of that sculpt in here, right? Pulse up, up, squeeze the left glute for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend your leg and softly land your toes down. Woo. Warrior 2, open up. OMG. Good work today. Woo. Big breath in. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, warrior 2. Just straighten both legs, triangle pose. Send your hips back, reach forward, and then start to stack your arms. This one is so challenging in making us engage both sides of our waist to keep our spine supported with all our core and back muscles. Bring your shoulders down your back, like squeeze them together. Imagine opening your arms a little bit more. Like you're suction cupping this giant glass in front of you. Now, if you want, you can take it to half moon pose. Look down where you're gonna re-bend your right knee. Try to lift the left leg. Now our hips are completely open. Your left thigh and toes face the left side wall. You can use that block under your right hand. If you've made it this far and you'd like, see about slowly finding sugarcane pose. Bend your left knee, maybe reach your left hand for your foot. Mimicking our partridge. Before we get there, so good, everybody. One more round of breath. Can you, as slowly, carefully as possible, release and extend your leg. Find warrior 2, slowly in control land. Whew. Last breath in, low lunge breath out. So right hand up, we've got our grounded twist. We're taking this to supported side plank. Pivot your feet out to the right side, and then bring your left knee down, float your right leg back, supported side plank. Woohoo! If you can, try to elevate the right leg upward. Bring your right hand on top of your right hip and thigh. From here, one more partridge. Mimic, bend into sugarcane. Bend your knee. See about reaching your foot. Then kick your foot into your hand. Have this gentle opening arch of the back. Press into your left hand to lift your hips up. One more round of breath. Gently extend your leg. Find plank pose. And from here, the option's yours: chaturanga, child's pose, or downward facing dog. We'll meet in your downward facing dog, and we have it just one more time on the other side. All right, friends, inhale your left leg high, and low lunge. Crescent lunge, slowly rise up. Find your steeple grip, non-dominant hand on top, thumb rather. Take a breath in. Exhale, hinge to your left. Maybe drop your right knee an inch. Inhale, back up. Exhale, lean and fly. And spread your left toes wide. Let's take flight, airplane. Shift forward through the heart, the skull. Reach and fly your right leg. Use your core. If your low back is tender, your leg can be lower. See if you just lift it off the mat barely. Shoulders are reaching backward. Neck is long. Great focus. Last breath in. And chair plane as you land. Gently bring both feet down. Try to line up the big toes. Drive into your heels. Take that pinky bind. Non-dominant. That's kind of a weird one.
Non-dominant pinky on top. Gets kind of funky there. Or take your strap or take a regular bind. Or maybe just fly your hands back is fine too. One more time for that heel squat, toe squat. Lift the heels if you want and sink the seat just a little bit deeper. 3 breaths. Last breath in. Exhale, heels down. Let's fold. Release your bind softly down. Whew. One leg halfway lift. Lift the right leg this time. Lengthen your spine. If you want your hands on blocks, take them. Flex your right ankle. Kick back through your heel. We've got our hamstring curls. Take a breath. Exhale, bend your right knee to 90. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Can you soften your right hip in line with the left and lengthen forward through the crown? Breathing as you kick through the heel. Exhaling as you squeeze your right glute and bend that knee. Last 3. Option to bring hands off the blocks if you're using them. Bring them to your heart. Last 2. And last time, bend your knee, hold it, point your toes to the sky. Let's pulse up, glute strength. Ooh, last 4, 3, 2, hold, extend your leg and softly land your toes. Oh boy, warrior 2, open up. Whew. Good job. Breathe in, an extended side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And warrior 2. From here, we straighten both legs. If you need to shorten your stance a little bit, bring your back toes in. Triangle pose. Reach forward, hips go back, and then stack those shoulders, opening the chest. Try to smooth the rhythm of your breath, even though this is very challenging. And if you'd like to add on your half moon or sugar cane, start to bend that front knee and let your right leg float. We're opening the right hip now. It's externally rotated, facing the right side wall. Your top hand can stay on your hip. Your bottom hand can stay on the thigh. Kick back through your right heel, yeah? Try to open up and lift your thigh, your right leg a little higher. Maybe you bend the back knee and take on that sugar cane if you tried it on the other side. Gently find that arch just barely by kicking your foot into your hand. Nice job, everybody. Begin to extend your leg if it was bent and softly land your toes. So much concentration. One more breath in warrior 2. Exhale, low lunge. Left arm to the sky, grounded twist, breathe in. And then supported side plank. As you exhale, pivot both of your feet to the left side of your mat. Bring your right knee down and take your left leg back. If it feels right, hover the left leg. Your left hand can rest on the leg. Start to bend your leg back. Capture your foot with your hand and open up into a little arch, foot kicking into hand. Opening the chest. Think of stacking your shoulders and hips here. So much work. Last breath in. And exhale, gently release. High plank, chaturanga, child's pose, straight to your dog, whatever you need in your practice. Woo, so much work today, friends. Good job. Inhale your up dog. Exhale your downward facing dog. Beautiful. OMG. All right, pedal that out. Shake it out. If you need a sip of water, you can always come to your knees for a second. So we get ready for our core series, which we've been doing a lot of core, so it's gonna be quick. When you're ready, come to a forearm plank. Bring your elbows under your shoulders and make sure your spine is nice and long. We'll hold here for about 40 seconds. And then we'll have the option for our dolphin pose. And maybe you can take it up into a forearm stand or a scorpion dog. We've been working on those all last month and a little bit this month. We've got about 15 more seconds. You can always bring your knees down if you want. But otherwise, keep pushing through it. Breathe. Push your forearms down. Last 4. Hips to the sky in 3. Dolphin pose in 2. And one, lift your hips. Let that be a little bit of a break for you. Sigh that breath out. Walk your feet in closer to your hands. So you're in your dolphin pose. Option to lift your right leg up. See if you can think your hips coming over your shoulders. Keep your shoulders pressing upward, forearms down. Bend your left knee and just see if you can float your toes off the mat just a little bit. And if you get tired here, bring both feet down. Knees down is an option. And then come back up when you're ready. Walk your feet in, bring the left leg up. Bring your hips over the shoulders. Press the forearms down and start to just float the right toes just a little. We're not kicking up through the left leg. We're floating. About one more cycle. And when you're ready, both feet down, both knees down. Child's pose. Whew. If you feel like you need your head above your heart, you can always sit up into your hero's pose or rock pose, whatever you need, the choice is yours. Try to come back to your rhythm of breath. Sigh out, open mouth exhales, and ring it back in, hone it back into your ocean breath. In and out of your nose. We find value in every aspect of our practice, the breath, the yoga, the postures. Remember, when times get hard, when poses get challenging, that is just part of the fun, the journey. We never have to get there, achieve it, feel successful in the pose. It's the value we have on it, the having fun, being lighthearted. Oh, just breathe a couple more breaths. Last breath in. And breathe out. Beautiful. Slowly, slowly, slowly rise up. Make your way to downward facing dog. We're going to start to use a strap, so have a strap nearby. So good. Friends, from your dog, pick up your heels, turbo dog, press your torso towards your thighs. You have the option to float forward if you want, otherwise step forward. Take a breath, and exhale, bring it forward, fold at the top of your space. Find a halfway lift, grab your strap, place the strap under your left foot, and then just leave it there, fold in half. Inhale, chair pose. Our strap is under our left foot, it's just sitting there right now. Bring your hands to your heart. Sit a little deeper. Inhale, lengthen forward through your crown, and exhale, prayer twist left. So right elbow to left thigh. Drop your seat, line up your knees. Couple of breaths right here, not too long. Big breath in. Exhale, squeeze the core and twist. Last inhale to lengthen. Exhale, squeeze the core, twist the chest to the left. Beautiful. Release it, forward folds. Grab your strap, inhale, halfway lift with your left hand. And exhale, low lunge, step your left foot back, bring your left knee down. So we're coming into our modified one-arm King Arthur's pose. Take that strap in your left hand. It's wrapped around your left foot. We'll do an underhand grab. So your palm is facing up, grabbing the strap. Right knee over the ankle. Let your hips come forward without bringing that knee too far forward. We'll go ahead and bring up the back toes. Make sure you're not on your knee, but on the thigh muscle. And then take your left elbow out to the left side and work that tricep upward and forward, yeah? Your right hand can rest on your right thigh. Now, when you get to this point, if you get there, start to kick your foot back out a little bit into the strap so you can feel how that arch might open up when we get to Partridge. Just a couple more breaths here. Maybe you even walk yourself up into a bit of a tighter, more dancer's pose looking King Arthur. Take one more breath in, lift up through the chest, and then very slowly release the way you came in. Take extra care of that knee, please, the way you had your knee. All right. From here, come into a low lunge, tuck your back toes, lift your knee, your strap can go to the side. Come into warrior two. Your right foot is forward. Breathe in, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, low lunge, 2 palms down. We'll find a seated twist. Bring your left knee to behind your right heel. Bring your sit bones down. Your right knee is up. Right hand to your low back, left hand up, breathe in, and exhale, twist. Chest to the right side, seat is grounded, spine is tall. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. Last breath in, and squeeze, ring it out. Slowly unwind through center. Extend both of your legs behind you. Meet me in downward facing dog. Not too much of a prettier way to get through that. If you wanted chaturanga, you can add that on. And we'll meet back in your dog. Our straps at the top of our mat. We're about to switch sides, right? So pick up your heels, press your torso towards your thighs, breath in. Exhale, float or step forward, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Take your strap under your right foot and then fold in half. Whew. Stand into chair pose, hands to your heart. Bring your seat down and back, breathe in. Exhale, twist to the right, prayer twist. Stack your elbows over your wrists, press your palms together. Try to bring your chest, your sternum towards your thumbs. Drop your seat, line up your knees. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze that core and twist a little more. Nice, slowly look down, forward, fold. Whew. Grab your strap, find a halfway lift. Strap is in your right hand. And exhale, low lunge, right foot steps back. Bring your right knee down. All right, finding your King Arthur's pose with one arm on this side. Underhand grab your strap with the right palm facing up. Slowly hinge forward, pick up the back toes, take your elbow to the right, and then circle the elbow up so your triceps up. Those archer arms we worked on at the beginning of class. Try to soften your brow. Unclench your jaw, just breathe softness into the upper body. Just a couple more breaths. Last inhale. And exhale, gently release that down. Low lunge, pick up your right knee. Warrior 2, open up. Strap can go out of the way. Take an inhale at the top. Extended side angle. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Exhale, low lunge. Seated twist, right knee to the back of your left heel this time. Ground both sitting bones down. Sweep your right arm up, inhale. And exhale, twist left. Squeezing the core to allow that twist to open up, opening the chest leftward towards the inner thigh. Last breath in. And exhale, twist. Beautiful, slowly unwind through center. From here, I'm gonna demo Partridge Pose. So if you want, take seated Sukhasana, or a really, really good pose to take if you wanted is Malasana. And the reason why this one's good is the original way our ancestors used to squatty potty, right? And then if we can keep this shape now, we can hopefully keep it as we age. Helps us when we need it most. So for our Partridge Pose, I'll demo one side and then we'll do it together. We'll be in plank pose, right? Then you open up to your side plank. You can keep the supported side plank if you want. But this pose, it's really important if we're moving in through the full version that we keep pressing through our flexed feet, keep them stacked best you can. Your right hand can do whatever you need. I like it here to start. Maybe hover the right leg, bend it, and see about capturing that foot. From here, we're using a lot of left underside body strength to lift the hips, and then kick the foot into the hand for that gentle back bend. And you can look down. It's really a lot of work. And then we'll release it. When you're done, you can take a child's pose, or we'll come into the other side. So remember, our bottom knee can be down. It doesn't have to be up. We're all just working through this. Say your little prayer. And if you're ready, meet me in plank. Our left arm will be base first. So from plank, Walk your feet into touch and roll your heels to the left. See if you can already have your legs together. Lift your left underside body up. You can look at your left hand if you need. Slowly bend the right knee. Maybe you elevate the leg. See about capturing your foot. If that's difficult, you can just bring your right knee to a bend and hold it. Take a couple more breaths here. So strong. And when you're ready, we'll gently extend both legs, come back to plank, and then maybe take a few breaths in child's pose before we balance the other side. If you need to roll out your wrists or anything in between, go ahead. And we'll slowly make our way back so we can finish strong. Plank pose. We'll move to partridge on the right. Walk your feet into touch. Right palm is base. Roll your heels to the right. Start to elevate your hips. Feel this really strong plank. Press through the soles of your feet. Flexed ankles. Maybe you lift the left leg and then bend the knee. Reach back. Your right knee can be on the ground here. Take your foot into your hand to feel a little bit of that back bend in this arm balance. Find your breath. Be present in the moment. Find the value. And then really slowly release the foot, come to plank pose, and take a child's pose. Woo, so good, everybody. Yeah, nice work today. Let a couple exhales release that posture. We did it. We did the thing. Now we can move on. And we'll be coming into half pigeon. So if you know you want it from your back, know that you're gonna go to your back. When you're ready, make your way up. You can just come to tabletop if you want. Float your right knee towards your right ankle, or wrist rather. Lengthen your left leg back. Unsickle your left toes. And traditionally in the Ashtanga practice, it's more of a back bend. We stay up, we balance. We like to relax and release it. Oftentimes in our vinyasa, so fold over your leg if you want. And if you're on your back, it's your right ankle crossed over your left thigh. Just releasing into the chest, smoothing and melting shoulders. Coming back to a more calm state of mind. Slowing down our nervous system. Take about 1 or 2 more breaths here. And when you feel ready, we'll begin to move to switch sides. If you're belly down, use your hands to support you. Maybe just come back up into tabletop, or if you need a 3-leg dog or something, take it. And we'll move to the other side with the left knee to the left wrist and the right leg long. And of course, if you're on your back, you're just switching sides, left ankle over right thigh. Take your time. It's creating length here through the whole body. And if you have your knee over your ankle, or that left shin up towards your abdomen or chest. Now we do have that gentle compression happening so that we can open up into the hip but everywhere else is feeling long. Today, we have the option to finish off belly down prone, if that feels right for you. If not, we'll slowly come out of our half pigeon. We'll come out of our half pigeon anyway. Shake out your left leg, whatever you need. And if you're on your back and you want to stay on your back for Shavasana, go ahead, maybe a happy baby. If you want to try something different today, we're going to lay down flat on our belly. Take your right knee out about 90. Cactus your arms or tee out your arms, and you can either look to the right or look to the left. And we'll switch sides in a moment, but only if this feels right. If you'd prefer, you can take it to your back, like I said. Do a happy baby, maybe do a couple supine twists, one to each side. And if you're with me right now, we'll take about 4 more breaths here before we move on and switch to the other side. Your belly down, we can slowly bring your palms back in by the shoulders, lift up your chest, slide your right knee back in, and then we'll take our left knee out to the left side, really opening up our hip a little more in the hip flexor, lowering down. Then maybe looking to the left. So if you have it, the neck mobility, and it feels okay, you can look to the right, left ear on the mat. And we'll be finishing off class here. So if you're on your back and moving around, find your Shavasana. It's got about 10 breaths. Let's see if you can add any more softness here for a few more moments. Maybe that's filling up the belly and the lungs a little bit more of the hold where you completely empty out. Maybe it's just letting your shoulders finally melt that last little bit, or your hips. And as we get ready to come out and make our way to a seat, start to move fingertips, toes. If you're prone, go ahead and bring your palms, slowly floating them underneath your shoulders, and just very, very slowly, with maybe even closed eyes, press yourself up to a seat on your heels. You're on your back, you're stretching it out, slowly finding your way to a seat as well. Do a couple shoulder rolls, whatever you need to do. Take our hands with an inhale, cleansing breaths here. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. And one more time, big breath in, open up, expand the body. Inhale. And exhale. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your time today. Giving that a try, letting go of the parts that you want to let go of, and just keeping the parts with you that gave you value. I appreciate you sharing your yoga practice with me and each other. From my heart to yours, namaste.